Siege is making some big moves leading into Year 10 Season 2, and that is bringing the all-new release of Rainbow Six Siege X. So in today's video, we're going to be covering everything that you need to know leading up to Year 10 Season 2. Starting us off, let's talk about the brand new visuals coming to Rainbow Six Siege X, and this is all due to their new engine upgrade, and honestly, in my opinion, the whole reason that they're even revamping the game with Rainbow Six Siege X. They are bringing modernized maps every single season, and to kick us off in Year 10 Season 2 with the release, we are getting 5 new modernized maps as are being shown here. And with the release of every season afterwards, we are also going to be either getting modernized maps or complete map reworks. Now, the map rework will be coming in Season 4 along with the new Pathfinder remaster, which we are going to talk about later in the video, because I have some speculation that I know who it's going to be and roughly what their ability is going to do. Next, let's talk about the new audio, and who better to explain it than Rainbow Six Siege themselves.
In Rainbow Six Siege, audio has been overhauled to convey a greater sense of accuracy in order to give players more cues to reliably detect enemy actions. These audio enhancements add a layer of spatial distinctions, making it easier to tell if someone is coming from your left or your right. Sound propagation has been upgraded, with sound traveling vertically and allowing players to know if an enemy is pushing from above or below. Sound also propagates through openings created in surfaces, offering more immersion. Sound reverberation is more realistic, relaying whether nearby actions are coming from a big room, a small room, indoors or outdoors, making pinpointing enemy locations more reliable. These audio innovations offer new tools to adjust response tactics, deliberately cause noise to draw rivals into an ambush, or use carpeted areas to limit the sound of infiltration, flashbangs to mask the sounds of powerful abilities, making for a more immersive, refined, and satisfying tactical shooter experience.
Now let's talk about next season and what is coming with Operation Daybreak, and the main focus is Clash. Now as you see here, she's being completely remastered to be able to drop her shield and activate it remotely. Now whether you're looking at this right here as a buff or a nerf, it's safe to say Clash does not clash very well with other operators.
Should you find yourself blocked by this formidable barrier, one of your trusty explosives can take care of it. Anyone or foe can burst through the shield if they get close to it, which can make for a shocking surprise. Of course, Clash can still play with her shield on her back or brandish it in front of her, and it will now collapse and expand automatically as she sprints, crouches, vaults, and even crashes through barricades.
Now let's take a look at the roadmap and knock a few things out very quickly. First off, the advanced rappel system is coming next season. This is just simply a mobility upgrade to Rainbow Six Siege X for attackers. You're going to be able to sprint on rappel and even turn corners while staying on rappel. This is going to be massive, especially on maps like Bank. This is going to be a huge quality of life improvement. Next, let's talk about the ban system. It's no longer going to be just 2 on each side in the beginning of the game. It is going to be round-based, meaning you're going to be banning 1 operator in the first round, 1 operator in the second round, 1 operator in the third round, so that's a total of 6 bans. And then when the team switches, you actually get to re-ban, so it wipes all of them so that you can ban according to your team and the side that you are on. So it's no longer if you're on offense, you're banning attackers, you are only banning defenders, and vice versa. So some new amazing things coming is obviously the communication wheel. This is going to be very similar to in-game communication wheels in games like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. And then we're getting the weapon inspect, which, let's be honest, with some of the new skins that are going to be coming, this is going to be absolutely beautiful. Veteran rewards is going to be another thing, where depending on how long you have been playing, like me if you've been playing since launch, they're going to be actually giving veterans from year 1 a brand new limited edition Black Ice. Now I don't know if it's going to be a great skin or not, but having something to flex for how long you've been playing is going to be greatly appreciated among veterans. Due to the new marketplace and things not being necessarily rare anymore, having something special is going to be very appreciated. The next thing mentioned is the return of unranked, which me personally, I don't get this. If you're going to want to play ranked, just play ranked. And honestly, standard is just fine, so I don't really understand that, but hey, if you wanted unranked back, there you go. Now you have about 5 game modes you can play. Now, if you follow some Siege creators like Kudos, then I'm pretty sure you've recently been seeing the operator banters. Now, yes, this doesn't really add much to the game, but these are amazingly funny.
Once a traitor, always a traitor. Once a bitch, always a bitch.
It just really delves into the life of Siege and being able to see what your operators are actually going through. The next thing that we're going to talk about, since we kind of skipped over, is the new 6v6 game mode Dual Front. Now, if you're not familiar with this, they did do a beta, which, I'm gonna be honest, this game mode is pretty fun, and I am excited to see how they go about updating it. I think the main thing that is going to push people away from this game mode is the no headshots and the increased operator health pool. Everybody feels clunky and it just does not feel like Siege. But if you want to see the interactions that you can pair up with attackers and defenders on the same team, maybe this game mode is going to be for you. Now let's talk about what these environmental destructions do. First, let's start off on the left with the fire extinguisher. This is going to be all around the map. If you shoot any of these fire extinguishers, it is going to act like a smoke grenade and a concussion combined. Meaning that if an enemy is standing near the fire extinguisher and you shoot it, not only will it release a cloud of smoke, but it is also going to stun them as if they got hit by a Grismot mine from Ella or a concussion grenade from Zofia. Next, moving on to the metal detectors. Now these are going to work similarly to just how they do now, but they're going to be way more immenseful. Now you're going to be able to disable them by either exploding them or just disabling them with an EMP. I also have a feeling that these will be used to tweak maps if they need balancing. Next, let's move on to the gas pipes. These ones are going to be one of the most impactful. Reason being that if you shoot them, they release a line of fire that if you walk through or stand in, you will be getting damaged by. But if you shoot them enough, they will actually explode, which will kill enemies or teammates on impact, and they will also leave behind fire as if a Goyo had exploded. Now I want to talk about when they intentionally removed fire extinguishers from around the map and replaced them with these little medical cabinets. Now obviously looking back on it now, we know why they removed the fire extinguishers. This was because fire extinguishers are going to actually have an effect in Siege X. But my question is, why did they replace them with medical cabinets? They simply could have either just removed the fire extinguisher from the map as a whole and not put in a new entity, but they intentionally replaced it with a brand new medical cabinet. Now, these have not been seen in the game before. Now, when I brought this up to my girlfriend, she brought this to my attention that maybe these are going to have an in-game use as well, and we just will not ever notice it until it is in the game. Now, Siege makes these changes very strategically, and you can look back on multiple things, like when cameras got the new team colors, or even with the new change of frost mats, goo mines, stuff like that also having new team colors, which most mechanical gadgets didn't. But now we know that that was also for dual front, because now you'll actually be able to have a frost on the enemy team and on your team. So mark my words, these medical cabinets will have a use in this game, but it might be a year from now. Now this leaves an array of possibilities with the game. Just imagine if CCTVs actually worked. I definitely think that environmental changes are going to be a new thing that they are going to be adding over the course of the next 10 years of Siege X. Now let's talk about electricity. So with the release of Siege X, electricity is now becoming a neutral status effect, meaning that all operators, including defenders, will be affected by electricity. Electricity is no longer going to be doing damage, and yes, this does affect characters like Clash, Cade, and Bandit. Now this does not seem like much or a big change, but I promise you, just like the removal of the fire extinguishers and the addition of medkits, this is going to change Siege in the future. Now let's fast forward a bit and take us to Season 4 with the remaster of one Pathfinder attacker. Pathfinders in this game are anything up to Buck. This is any character that released with Siege. So this narrows it down to only a few attackers, and the thing is only a few of them have anything to do with electricity. So I want to talk about my speculation and talk about what I think that the Season 4 attacker will be, and let's start it off with the simple one, Thatcher. Now, with the rework of electricity, I have a feeling that the Season 4 attacker is going to be our first electric operator. The way that I see this working is we have a lot of different ways of destroying utilities on walls now. Now, the way that I see this working with Thatcher is that he'll no longer have an EMP. I think that this is viable because we have an array of operators that can handle walls now, and we even have pocket EMPs, so Thatcher's not really a necessity anymore, at least when you're above like gold. You really don't need to be bringing him. So the way that I see this working is possibly his EMPs are now going to be electricity grenades. Now this will work similarly to operators like Gridlock, but maybe it'll be able to span across a whole room, or maybe it will just have different effects. Next operator that I thought of that actually handles electricity is, well, Twitch. Let's imagine this. Maybe instead of shooting a taser that just has a zap, maybe she'll be able to lay down electricity with her shock drones. Now this seems like it would be strong, but realistically we do not have a drone can add such area denial. The only character that we even have in the game that can do something similar is Flores, but that does not have a lasting effect like this would. Now the final attacker that I think would even be a possibility is IQ. I don't really know how they would change her to specifically deal with electricity, so I genuinely don't think it's going to be her, but hey, you know, honorable mention, I guess. Now to wrap things up, we're going to be seeing a dispersion of new weapons across all operators within the next year. Now obviously they've been trying to bring one new weapon every single season. Now this is major, this is genuinely amazing. In Season 3, I believe we're going to be getting a new shotgun. Now I could be wrong, but they mentioned that the Season 3 operator will be delving into destruction, so it genuinely just fits. And then Season 4, we're going to be getting a new weapon, and they mentioned that they are going to be dispersing the new weapon on a series of already existing operators. Now I personally think that this is a major improvement, because we could see some operators like Sledge receiving some new love ever since he lost his SMG-11. So that wraps everything up that you need to know leading into Rainbow Six Siege X. Obviously there are some changes that I did not mention. If you want to comment them down below to help people out, feel free, but that is everything that you must know leading into Siege X. If you have any theories or speculation on the operator, definitely comment that down below too. I'm very intrigued to see what ideas you guys come up with. Anyways, that wraps things up. Peace out, be safe, and I love you guys. Bye-bye.